Wake the hell up, my dear viewer. We've got a new TCG to try. If my dope shades and reasonably tight pants weren't enough to key you in, we're going to Night City. Good evening, Chooms. It's me, Levi Silverhand, and today I'm here to tell you all about the Cyberpunk. Hey, lock back in. Lock back in. The Cyberpunk TCG is one of the hottest new trading card games coming out on the market right now. And the kind folks, the kind folks over at Weirdco Games have sent me an alpha kit to show off to you all, and I'm really excited to dive into it. Good evening, my dear viewers. My name is Levi. Welcome to another Alliteration gaming video, and today we're going to be chatting all things Cyberpunk trading card game. A game that is currently poised to be probably significantly better than my Johnny Silverhand impression, created from the 2 whole clips I've watched of this character. But unless you've been living under a rock lately in the TCG world, you've heard the whims and the whispers of the upcoming Cyberpunk trading card game, and today we're going to dive into the first official peek at it, courtesy of the folks over at Weirdco. So get ready, Chooms, as we dive into this kit that's sure to be excellent. No, that's what Keanu says, right? This is good, right? All right, fellas, let's see what this kit is all about. Oh, holy cow! Does this look good? I can't even see it. I can't even see it. Wow. Okay, this is seriously cool. The presentation here is. Whoa, this is awesome. This is an absolute beautiful box. These logos, trading card games, Cyberpunk, the fonts, a little security seal. Wow, this is really cool. This is super dope. It's almost like its own little, its own little data packet. But we're gonna have to get into this guy. So we're gonna go ahead and expertly hack into this guy with this knife that I found. This is an extremely complex hacking job here. Okay, this clip. This is not for the faint of heart. Let's put Johnny away and open into this. Whoa, okay, so first of all, magnet technology, and oh, hang on, is this? Whoa, we've been welcome to Night City, guys. We've been welcome to Night City. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. I said, oh my God. So the first thing we got here looks like gonna be, a pair of paper. Maybe not necessarily paper. I mean, they're paper, but like this is strong. This is high quality. This is not no choom paper. Is that like a choom's not like a slur, is it? No. Two pretty nice quality mats, and we'll open these up so we can kind of take a little bit of a look at the board here. Obviously, the whole of this is not going to fit, but we've kind of got a nice turn structure, how to win, anatomy of a card types on here. And then we can sort of get a nice view of the board, which is pretty unique actually compared to a lot of the modern day TCGs. This game's kind of interesting because like a lot of this stuff is really familiar territory, but there's a lot of unique things like the inclusion of dice. The scoring is like based on the dice and the gig zones, and you can take your opponent's score. It's quite unique. We'll probably get into that a bit more as we look at the cards, but just to show you guys a bit of what we're working with here. Getting that out of the way, the first thing that we're going to see after those is this guy right here, Mr. Goro Takemura, and wow, holy cow, this is an absolutely gorgeous card. Let's open this guy up. We're not keeping anything sealed here. We're doing this one. We're doing this one all for the fans. Holy cow! So first off, this foiling is gorgeous. These textures are amazing. This art is phenomenal. Something that the Weirdco team is real big on is absolutely no AI art used in this game whatsoever. This is all real art created by real human hands, and I think you can see the benefit of that looking at this card here. This thing's absolutely gorgeous. And then see, ooh, okay, really lovely card back. I like this card back. This is nice. I kind of wish that this Cyberpunk here, the word, was also in black, although I guess it's kind of in yellow everywhere else, but it's in yellow on this one. So but this is a gorgeous card back, and little cardstock check. Yeah, this is pretty solid cardstock. Not the thickest I've seen in this day and age, but very solid. Certainly some good cardstock. And man, dude, the way the textures are built, it's like really hard to show off. But yeah, right there, like the entire card is textured over. And so this is one of your legend cards. This is sort of like your commander or your leader, except in Cyberpunk you get 3 of these guys, and they all start face down as resources, and then can kind of like, you can slowly pay to flip them up and then have them be like active leaders, which is a pretty neat take on the leader mechanic. I assume these are going to be like our 2 demo decks here. We'll crack into one of these here. So we kind of got a little welcome card here. Talks about not necessarily the rules of the game, but just sort of like the flavor of the game and how a lot of Cyberpunk is represented in it. The dice are your gigs, and as you're rolling dice, you're acquiring gigs, you're completing gigs, but hitting your opponent steals their gigs, and then the total of the dice you have is like your street cred, which is like a gameplay relevant value, and sort of just the way all of that interacts together to give you like the Cyberpunk feel is pretty sweet. So we got our little welcome card, we got our little how to win card, you get 6 gigs, 6 dice, and then a little before you begin card. These are a lot of little prep cards. This is really nice. And then we're gonna have just the deck itself of cards. And so you've got 2 more of your legend type cards, Jackie Wells and V. You got Victor Vector 2 here, and then so these are going to kind of be like your 3 legend cards, and these are really interesting because not only can these be like your leaders that sort of like, you know, flip up and be active game pieces, some of them can be played as units if they've got the go solo tag. Some of them are just going to stay there in kind of the legend zone and give you that passive value. So the gameplay elements that kind of center around these are pretty interesting, and if you want a much more in-depth detailed guide of the how to play stuff, I'm going to link my good friend Maindeck Dan's tutorial down there in the description, because it is absolutely amazing quality and a really good way to learn. And then another nice thing that's kind of cool about these legend cards is they sort of affect your deck building as well. You can kind of see that all of them have this like this RAM total here, which is these little 2s down here. So these kind of denote what colors you can put in your deck. Obviously we can put blue and yellow in our deck, but they also denote the cost of the cards we can put in our deck. So because we have 1 yellow legend, we can put yellow cards in our deck with up to 2 RAM cost, and then because we have 2 blue legends worth 2 RAM each, we can put blue cards in our deck up to 4 RAM. So that's kind of a really interesting way to go about the deck building. The harder you go on a color, like the bigger cards you can put in your deck, or you can spread really wide and then put lots of little stuff in your deck. And then you kind of see that as we go through the deck, our yellow cards are either going to be all 1 or they're going to be 2 RAM, while our blue cards we can have up to 3 RAM because the RAM total of our blue legends is 4. So that's kind of interesting, and we'll just kind of go through a lot of these cards. Man, this is a crazy art. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these are this art is absolutely amazing. You know, you're going to see all kind of the card types centered here. We've got gear. Obviously it's Cyberpunk, so gear is going to be a major card type. Your equipment, your attachments, your spell type cards or your programs, going to see a lot of those as well. And then of course you're going to have units. These little guys are adorable. Holy cow. And you're going to have, you know, a lot of the named characters, a lot of your faves, a lot of your grunts, a lot of your just kind of, you know, generic vehicles too. These cards look absolutely, oh, well, this looks awesome. Oh, this is really cool. So it's like, this little guy is like climbing up the wall, but like, this is like the actual like orientation of the gravity in the art, but we're seeing it from the other angle because he's climbing up there. And then we got Jackie Wells, Mr. Choom himself, Mr. Choom himself front and center. So these cards look really awesome. This is kind of like our little mercenary deck. We're gonna go ahead and dig into the other deck here too, which I think should be more of like our Osaka deck. So we got all of our fave Corpo scums. Yeah, look at these guys. Oh my goodness. And then there's the so this is the regular version of Goro Takemura here. It certainly doesn't look bad by any means, but wow, yeah, this alt art textured one is absolutely insane. And of course, he's going to be our go solo guy of the deck. He's the one who wants to get in there and get his hands very unclean. And then a lot of the same stuff, you know, some really cool gear, awesome sword of Saburo here, more, you know, gear and equipments, and man, yeah, these cards look seriously awesome. Wow, I like the flurry of art styles as well that are inside these cards. Like a lot of really like comic book style ones. Some of them are kind of more graphic. Some of them more look almost live action. This one's just like super stylistic with this all pink background. You know, same thing with some of these, like, you know, again more live action but like all red background. They just get really really creative. And then you can kind of see the street cred mechanic here taking place on this guy here. If you have 12 more street cred, this basically means if all the dice that you've rolled into your gig zone or the ones you've taken from your opponent, if they equal up to 12 total, you get those abilities. So they're kind of like stopgaps for game progression, which is cool because the dice are obviously different totals, and you can choose to roll whichever ones you want as early as you want. But when your opponent attacks and hits you directly, if you don't block them, they're going to be able to steal your dice, which is like stealing your health/score, but also stealing your street cred. So if you go for a big die roll really early on because you want a great street cred payoff, that also means that you've given your opponent potentially a really big asset to take from you. So that's honestly, that's super interesting. That's a really cool way to go about like the scoring aspects of the game. And then, you know, we've talked so much about the dice in Cyberpunk. I can only imagine that these little boxes here are going to have some dice. Whoa. Now these are cute. These are very cool. These are super dope. So we've got a pretty traditional tabletop RPG set of dice here. We've got a D4. We've got this this really cool D6. We've got a dope D8. We've got this really cool orange D10. We've got a big old fat D12 here. This one's cool, actually. This one might be my favorite. This one looks really tight. And then of course, the end all be all, we've got our massive D20, and these are gorgeous. And just get a nice good zoom in on here. These are gorgeous, man. These are all super duper finely sculpted details. Really nice looking. I really like this D6 a lot. This is kind of like this is probably the one I'll use the most just in general because, well, D6s are really generic across card games, but also this is like probably this actually might be the coolest looking one. The fusion of the yellow and blend here, this is the classic, one of the classic little Cyberpunk color combos here. Yeah, these are absolutely awesome. And then we'll open up the second kit, which I imagine is just a second set of these same dice that we can use to play. Whoa, oh, whoa, hang on. I was gonna say to use that we can play 2-player, but these are a completely different set. Holy cow. So I'm imagining that these are supposed to be like the Arasaka set with all the black and red, but whoa, I take it all back. I take it all back. These are so much cooler. Holy cow, I'm using these in absolutely everything I can. You know, obviously if you're, if you've ever looked at my channel whatsoever, black and red is the best color combo ever. And oh my God, man. These are hardcore. Don't get me wrong, these looked really good, but stacking them up to these now, I feel like I'm looking at like some Fisher-Price dice over there. The black just goes so well. Contrasts really hardcore. Like, oh my goodness, man. These are crazy. These little sculpted details are absolutely beautiful, and yeah, I mean, the colors are so striking. Oh my goodness. Totally immaculate work done on these. These are the bee's knees. And that, my dear viewers, is gonna wrap it up for our first look at the Cyberpunk trading card game. This stuff looks seriously awesome. A big thank you to WeirdCo for sending this kit over for me to show off to you guys, and a big thank you to you guys for watching all the way to the end. While this video is over, your avenues to engage with the Cyberpunk trading card game have only just begun, because the Cyberpunk TCG's Kickstarter pre-launch page is live right now. I'm gonna have the link for that in the description below and in the pinned comments. You can check that out and get ready to start following that campaign when it kicks off the morning of March 17th. And you're going to want to engage with this Kickstarter campaign as early as you can because A, it helps out WeirdCo a ton when it comes to knowing how much of this game they need to be printing to make sure everyone has product and there's no shortages when it comes time to hitting shelves and getting into players' hands. And B, you're going to want to engage with it because it's the only way you can get the crazy awesome Nova Rare Lucy promo. When it comes to Cyberpunk, it's hard to say there's anyone quite as iconic as Lucy herself. Even compared to Mr. Keanu Reeves, she's the star of the show, and you're going to want to get your hands on this seriously sweet promo card. Thanks again for making it all the way to the end of this video, chooms. Every single one of you are breathtaking. No, that's what he says. He says this. It's in Cyberpunk. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. I hope to see you in the next one.